Welcome back, my friends. Mariah Monetize here. Today's video, we're going to be going over some news in the cryptocurrency space, the price of Bitcoin, and I have actually been looking back at the weekly chart when it comes to Bitcoin to try to predict what's going to happen next. And I found some very interesting information on the charts that I think you're going to find extremely valuable. So make sure you stick around till the end so you know exactly what I'm referring to, okay? So let's see, Justin, Citadel, Fidelity, and Charles Schwab and Virtue are building a Bitcoin and crypto trading platform. Tons of bullish news across the space and small capacities, large capacities when it comes to this bill that has been proposed. So here's some key takeaways from the Bitcoin and digital asset bill that you might find interesting. So the bill delivers on the promise of no taxes on transactions under $200. This is huge. It should be more, but you know what? We will slowly build, okay? Slowly build for sure. Self-custody, the bill would enshrine, I don't think I know what that word means, into law, the right for Bitcoin holders to self-custody their Bitcoin. Gold ultimately failed because we stored it all in banks, either by government decree, or so we would have access to paper money. So that's a huge aspect, right? That's what makes Bitcoin so different, is having full, complete access and control over your funds. Miner rewards tax, so a key part of the bill, which isn't being talked about enough, is the move to make miner rewards tax after their disposition. So currently, mined Bitcoin is taxed as income the moment it is mined. This is an unfair and illegal tax on Bitcoin miners. So those are just a couple of the key takeaways. There's definitely more if you kind of want to read into those. So I encourage you to look a little bit deeper, but this is exciting. This is good. If we can't believe the amount of gold governments are holding, can we really trust them to tell us if they are secretly stacking Bitcoin? I think that is a massive possibility that most countries are stacking Bitcoin, are purchasing Bitcoin, but they are saying absolutely nothing about it, okay? So the facts are clear. According to Chainalysis, just 0.15% of all crypto transactions in 21 were associated with some type of illicit activity. The UN estimates 2 to 5% of fiat cash worth $800 billion to $2 trillion was associated with some type of illicit activity. Interesting. Breaking. California-based superfood chain WeBull just accepted its first Bitcoin payment for the entire franchise fee. That is awesome. This is an interesting graph here, kind of showing you Asia buying Bitcoin from US, Europe after dumping on them at the top. Tale as old as time. So Asia might be in control of these markets. Bitcoin Bank Custodia suing the Federal Reserve CEO Caitlin Long announced. Very interesting. And this isn't Bitcoin related, but this is valuable. And I always try to bring value. I promise you, vibing alone teaches you a lot about yourself. It's so worth it. My brain works in a completely different fashion when I am alone, quiet, by myself. There's no one physically near me. That is where the magic happens for me personally. But before we go into the price of Bitcoin and what I think is going to happen in the coming weeks, if you want to support my channel, iTrust Capital is a really great way to do that. So you can actually invest in a Bitcoin IRA with iTrust Capital. They also offer other cryptocurrencies. So what's really cool about iTrust is that you only need $1,000 to get started. So if you choose to get a Roth IRA, okay, you basically take, let's say, your income that has already been taxed. Okay, let's say you buy Bitcoin right now. You are going to pay 0 taxes when you withdraw that Bitcoin, and you can start withdrawing at age 59 and a half. So imagine being like 30 now and paying 0 capital gains tax in 30 years on your Bitcoin that you invest in today. That is massive. This is something that we should all be trying to max out every single year, okay? So, like I said, I have a link down below if you want to get started with iTrust Capital today. So Bitcoin has just jumped here in like the last hour. So I felt like I went to go eat a piece of pizza and I came back and Bitcoin jumped like $1,000. It was just $30,000, or actually under $30,000 not that long ago. So Bitcoin's sitting at 31,300, Ethereum sitting at 1834, Coinbase at 69.57. Let's see here. We have LTC sitting at 64.50. We have Link sitting at $8.70, up 9.25% today. I might actually take a deeper dive on Link and consider selling off a little bit of that, just because I do not believe the bottom is in. I absolutely do not believe that the bottom is in. I could be wrong, but that's just my prediction. XTZ sitting at $2.11. Celsius sitting at 65 cents. We have Doge sitting at 8 cents. UST sitting at 3 cents. Okay, so what I have up here is the weekly chart on Bitcoin. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to go back to when Bitcoin hit $20,000, and I wanted to compare. So I wanted to compare the high of $69,000 of Bitcoin that we saw approximately 30 weeks ago. And I know it's been like 31 weeks or so, 31, 32 weeks. And I wanted to basically see when Bitcoin hit $20,000, where was it 30, 32 weeks after that? So the top chart right here this is Bitcoin hitting $20,000 up here. And this over here is 31 candles out, 31 weeks out, okay? And this right here is our current chart on the bottom, and we are about 31 weeks out as well. So what am I seeing here? Okay, I'm trying to compare where we're at, where we've kind of been. So I'm like, okay, interesting. You know, this price action reminds me of this price action. So maybe we print another candle and then we have some upside for 2 weeks, 2 weeks of upside. So from a percentage perspective, this is July. Oh, interesting. Oh, wow. Okay. Almost same time of year, which was not taking that even into consideration. So this is close when you even actually compare the time. So off of this July 9th weekly candle, Bitcoin jumped 40% approximately in 2 to 3 weeks. So a 40% jump. So I went over here to where we're at now. And if we jump about 40% off in this range, that takes us to about $38,000. And what also happened over here was Bitcoin did not get above that moving average right there, that lighter, the thinner green moving average. Okay, Bitcoin did not get over that. And over here, that would kind of put Bitcoin in the same range of being close to that moving average as well. So there is a possibility we see similar price action, and somewhere in the middle, probably closer to the end of the month of June, we see a decent jump on the price of Bitcoin. So if it got down, because this candle, because we're on an 8 candle right there, you can see the 8 candle there. This is what we're anticipating for like the next week or so. So that went below the low of this candle. So let's just say the Bitcoin goes down to 27 and it jumps 40%. Then that would take it to about $38,000, okay? But then what happened after that? Well, what happened after that was Bitcoin continued to trade downwards significantly for a while. So I don't believe the bottom is in, but I do think we're going to see a bump in the price, which could be a massive selling opportunity to then buy back lower. Okay, I probably will not sell any of my Bitcoin, but I might sell all of my other coins, including the majority of my Ethereum. That is on the table for me because I think this could be a massive, massive trade. And for me, it feels right. A lot more would need to happen, but it's feeling pretty right at this time. Okay, there is a possibility that Bitcoin is not in a bear market, but I think there's a 65% chance that it is. Okay, the second thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to basically see how much Bitcoin basically dropped from a percentage point. So the price range here, from here, let's see. So that was this candle over here. That was July 2nd. So Bitcoin fell about 70% in that 31-week period of time after it hit the all-time high of $20,000. And then if we take into consideration where we're at, or where Bitcoin has dropped when it dropped to about 25, it's down 65%. So from a percentage perspective, there's also some correlation as well, okay? So a lot of similarities happening here. Just to kind of give you guys an idea. We hit $69,000. That was November 5th of 21. This 20,000 came in December 17th. So about a month and a half later. And then when we were matching up what I just showed you, there's about a month and a half difference. In my videos from probably close to a year ago, Bitcoin was trading almost daily, very similarly. So let's see here. It's kind of weird how Bitcoin like hit 20K on like 3 weeks in a row almost. Like that was kind of odd and strange there, versus when it topped at 69, it was kind of like that peak candle. Well, the formation at the top just looked significantly different. So in another video, I might do a closer day to day and see kind of what's happening there. So I'm going to go ahead and just back up here to Bitcoin on the weekly chart. Like I mentioned before, this green crossing over the red would be huge, but honestly, with what I saw, from what I just showed you, I would not really take much consideration with that. I think it could cross over and back down just like it did here. It could happen again. So I would be skeptical on entering from that particular indicator. I feel stronger based off of that jump that could meet this moving average, maybe like here. I think 38 to 39,000, and then we're going back down after that. So I think we're going to see a little bit of a relief on Bitcoin, and then more pain. That's just kind of what I'm thinking there. This is a daily chart. I told you guys when the green started crossing over the red, I would be interested in entering. It happened here, but we crossed back down. So I think we're going to still see resistance over here, which will happen at about $33,000. But then I do think Bitcoin is going to get over that. I do think that Bitcoin on this daily chart is going to make a higher high. In the next week, I believe Bitcoin will make a higher high. I do think we're going to trend upwards on the daily chart. I do believe that is going to happen. So let's see here. This is a 12-hour chart here, which kind of looks a little funky. This is some weird trading action. I would like to see a higher high happen in the next 3 days. Let's take a look at the 4-hour chart here. 4-hour chart is good. I like this green to trading above the green one. I want to see Bitcoin make a higher high and trade above the high of this candle, which is $31,745, okay? I'd be keeping a very close eye on the 4-hour chart. I want to see that higher high. I think we're going to see more room to the upside. This is the hourly chart, which is also looking pretty good. I'm anticipating a pullback, maybe a 4-hour, 1 to 4 candle pullback, and then more room to the upside to make a higher high. So the chart is actually looking pretty decent. And what are we at? We're the 7th. I'm anticipating, I think that Bitcoin this month is going to hit at least 37,000, potentially 38 to 39. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. I could be completely wrong, but you can mark down that prediction and you could tell me 100 times that I'm wrong if that happens. But I don't know. I'm feeling that is highly probable. People would kill me in the space when it comes to money and trading and having me say the word feeling. But when you're a female, hey, you know what? You just have that female intuition, and sometimes it works. So that's kind of what I'm seeing there on the price of Bitcoin. This video is kind of getting a little bit too long, so I'm going to go ahead and stop it there. But like I said, if you want to get started with iTrust Capital, it's one of the best ways for the long term if you want to minimize your tax obligation and play the tax game, how it should be played. Use the tax advantage that you have for investing in the long term. Totally worth it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you're having a great day. And as always, go out there and create a portfolio that you love.